Aging is a natural process that happens to each of us over time. Almost every cell in our body ages, primarily our skin. But beyond external signs, it leads to numerous internal issues and ailments. While it might not concern many during youth, it becomes a significant concern for nearly everyone after the age of 50. So, what factors contribute to aging? One of the most significant factors is our diet. We are what we eat. Unfortunately, many items in our diet indeed accelerate our aging process. This has been proven by numerous studies. In this video, I have gathered products that contribute to our aging and that we should definitely eliminate from our diet if we want to prolong our youth. So, watch the video to the end. It will be very interesting and helpful. By the way, be sure to subscribe to our channel and also hit the bell so you won't miss any of our updates. Firstly, French fries, chips, and anything deep fried. Fried oil is a detrimental substance. Excessive thermal processing of the same oil leads to an excessive amount of trans fats, glycidyl esters, and free radicals. These components affect our molecules at the DNA level, which is extremely detrimental to our skin, among other things. Moreover, a significant amount of salt in French fries and chips is also harmful to our skin, causing premature aging. Excessive salt intake leads to the early onset of wrinkles. So it's better to opt for just plain potatoes instead of fries. The same goes for potato chips. By the way, in my opinion, they even taste better. Now, let's move on to the next point, which is of course white sugar. It's impossible not to talk about it in a video about aging. Refined white sugar is one of those products that cause the most significant and most obvious issues. As I mentioned earlier, it contributes to the formation of advanced glycation end products, AGEs, which, in turn, break down collagen in our body. If we consume too much sugar, our aging processes accelerate noticeably. The next point is trans fats and margarine. I decided to combine them. There have even been separate studies that showed that people who consume a large amount of margarine have more wrinkles. Margarine is much worse than, for example, butter. Essentially, margarine is hydrogenated oil, a trans fat. The harm of trans fats has been discussed ad nauseum. They are extremely detrimental to our body. They provoke cardiovascular diseases, obesity, accumulate and persist in the body for up to 50 days. Trans fats also contribute to oncology. Another very harmful combination is trans fats combined with sugar. For example, why is a burger considered unhealthy food? Because it contains the elements I have already mentioned, white bread, and a patty of dubious origin. Typically, the patty in burgers is remotely related to meat. It contains about 10% meat. There's a significant amount of trans fats and glycidyl esters. In combination, apart from being carcinogenic and harmful to the cardiovascular system, this causes premature aging. It has also been proven that the consumption of trans fats makes our skin more vulnerable to ultraviolet radiation. The issue is that when refined sugars combine with protein, advanced glycation end products are formed. These substances accelerate the aging process and exacerbate chronic diseases. I understand that many of us are used to eating white bread, but it's not for nothing that recently, dietitians have been saying that not only salt is the white death. There are already 3 white deaths in total: salt, refined white sugar, and flour. It refers to all flour products. White bread has a high glycemic index, but if you love bread, there is good news. You can replace it with sprouted grain bread. It's a type of bread that doesn't contain added sugar. It also contains antioxidants that are beneficial for our body. So please understand me correctly, I am not against bread. I am against bread with added sugar. The next point is quite controversial: dairy products. Here, it must be said that discussions have not subsided. Some studies show their absolute safety, or conversely, their benefit to our bodies. Other studies show that not everything is so rosy and recommend limiting dairy consumption. Also, at the level of personal experience, some people completely give up dairy and experience a host of positive effects. Some of them might even see the resolution of chronic ailments. In the context of our video's theme, their skin might start looking healthier and younger in just a couple of weeks. However, some people who give up dairy notice no positive changes. so it's genuinely a complex choice. Personal experiences are highly conflicting, and research from experts is also quite contradictory. Nevertheless, it's worth a try. You might find yourself among those whose bodies react well to this change. After all, we are all highly individual. Consuming cottage cheese or cheese is preferable to fresh milk. Lactose, relatively recently, humanity domesticated the cow, and therefore, evolutionarily, our bodies are not yet adapted to digest lactose properly. Most adults do not digest it. When they drink milk, they experience indigestion. In general, considering all these factors, in some individuals who consume dairy products, the processes of chronic microinflammation intensify. This leads to oxidative stress, which is the main cause of premature aging both inside and outside the body. But here's one definite life hack. If you love milk very much, I recommend trying plant-based milk. It is a relatively new phenomenon, but it is considered an even healthier alternative. Of course, from a formal point of view, it's not exactly milk, but in taste, sometimes it's even better. There's rice milk, almond milk, soy milk. Personally, I really like almond milk, and for example, I love adding hazelnut milk to my coffee. It turns out to be really delicious, so I recommend giving it a try. By the way, write in the comments how old you are and how you feel. It will be very interesting to see the answers we get. And if you liked this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. See you next time.